I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a Patreon review, this time for Paratena. Sorry if I got the name wrong, I apologize. Night of the Demons 2, 1994, which I believe you sent me that DVD a long time ago. I could be wrong, I believe you did. Thank you so much for the Patreon pledge. Thank you to everyone who has done that. If you're ever interested, the link to that will be down below, and there's different tiers, and depending which tier you get, is a video you could get. Or you can always send it directly to PayPal, which you can request pretty much any video, and the link to that will be down below, both in the info box. But the review for today he wanted was for Night of the Demons 2 for 1994. Now, I enjoy the first Night of the Demons. I have reviewed that on the channel. Why do I enjoy this film? The first one, there's some good gore. I thought there was pretty decent direction by Kevin S. Tenney. And certain things, for example, this character, which I enjoyed quite a bit.
You won't get me!
I really enjoy that character. That was a pretty damn fun character. Stuff like that really made the first Night of the Demons rise up above, mediocrity or any other name you could use. Like Night of the Demons, the first one, was a fairly fun flick. Or lines like, eat a bowl of fuck. This, though, other than the occasional really weird effect, like tits become hands. You heard me right. A pair of tits become hands, and they grab a guy and burn his hands. And there's a couple crazy moments. There's some B-movie fun with the gore, some of the special effects. There's a wacky but kind of badass nun. Stuff like the titties becoming hands. There's a snake lady at the end. So I just see people enjoying this on a B-movie level of that nature. But to me, it's a big step down from the first Night of the Demons. I did not see the third film. The remake is awful. I'll say this is better than the remake with Edward Furlong. Because at least there's some B-movie fun. The nun, who's like a wacky, like badass nun, and she was kind of fun. But the other characters are really shitty. I mean, the acting sucks ass. The characters, you got either mean girl bitches, a mousy lead that's in her shell 99% of the movie, and barely does jack shit. You have this priest, because this film deals with a Catholic boarding school for troubled teenagers, and the head priest there is a fucking idiot that when the common sense is right in front of your face, is like, what? Double dumbass on him. I mean, the main girl is Melissa, nicknamed Mouse, because of how in her shell she is. But she really never comes to fruition as like a badass. Like one little moment she does at the end, but even then it's not much. And then the other characters are really forgettable. Like completely forgettable, and that really hurts the movie. And then you have stupid lines of dialogue. I swear there's a guy who literally says, "Man, this smells like Godzilla's butthole. This smells like This smells like Godzilla's butthole." I heard that shit, really? Or, "Man, this smells a little like Teen Spirit." Actually, I think that was the scene where someone go, "Oh, smells a little like Teen Spirit." Yeah, because Nirvana smells like Teen Spirit. And then the guy goes, "My ass, it smells like Godzilla's butthole here." I mean, I get that it's trying to be a bit creative. You have this lipstick and it becomes a tentacle and it goes inside a girl. Like, nothing graphic, but you get the idea. Like, under the skirt and, you know, between the leg, you get the idea. Like the titties that become hands, but that's really the only thing I could talk about. And maybe that's enough for people. But this director is Brian Trenchard-Smith. This guy does not work with horror movies. I think he's much more adept at doing action films. At least based on the films I've seen. Because I saw The Man from Hong Kong, which I enjoyed. He also did a film called Turkey Shoot. I enjoyed that as well. I believe I reviewed that on the channel. If not, that's a film that stars Steve Railsbat. That's an entertaining action movie. A little bit of exploitation. Definitely some gore in there. But, you know, still it's an action movie. Brian Trenchard-Smith, he should stick with action. Anytime it goes into horror, it just doesn't work. Because he did some of the Leprechaun sequels, and that didn't work. He did, I want to get the whole filmography. I should have had it up. But I definitely think Kevin S. Tenney is a better director in the horror field. Because not only Night of the Demons I enjoyed, but he also did, I want to say, the first Witchboard, which I believe I reviewed on the channel. I believe. If not, I'd just say the first Witchboard was actually feeling good. Because, surprisingly enough, it actually did a decent job developing his characters. And the acting was not that bad. Like, the characters were actually, like I said, decently developed in Witchboard. So, like, Kevin S. Tenney, he definitely works better in horror. And Brian Trenchard-Smith does not. Let me see. Yeah, The Man from Hong Kong, Turkey Shoot, Stunt Rock. I haven't seen it, but it looks fun. And that's a concert, but with stunts, action. BMX Bandits, did not see. Dead and Driving, barely remember anything about it. Oh, The Siege of Firebase Gloria. I saw that film. That's a good one. I think I reviewed it. I don't know if it's still up. I don't know if that was my last channel or this channel. But I remember enjoying that. That's a Vietnam flick with Arlie Ermey and Wings Hauser. That's a good action war film. That's what I mean. Like, the guy does better. But then when you get to horror, he does Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4, this movie. Tyrannosaurus Azteca. Hell, the last film he did was pretty lame. Drive Hard. That's a film with John Cusack and Thomas Jane. And it was such a waste of a cast in that movie. And that's where I go, yeah, even for action he lost the touch. But back in the day, those three films alone, Siege of Firebase Gloria, Man from Hong Kong, and Turkey Shoot, But then compared to Leprechaun 3, 4, and then this one. Again, it's like, yeah, this guy, he's not good with horror. It just, the humor didn't work. I didn't think it was that funny. The acting, even for this kind of film, because I thought the acting was fine in the first Night of the Demons for what it is. Here, no, didn't give a shit about the characters. The only character I could somewhat care was the nun, because just how a bit wacky and, you know, crazy, like a nun that is willing to kick a little ass. Okay, interesting. Other noticeable things, one of the actresses is Christine Taylor. That's the lady who played Marcia in the Brady Bunch movies. Not the show, but the movies. Angela, you don't see a lot of that makeup that's on the cover. It's mostly like she's trying to kiss people and then they get possessed, of course. Which apparently there's an antidote. Because you could do stuff and they'll just puke it out and this bug light thing will puke it out. Like if you give them holy water. Like this possessed girl, they just give her holy water and she pukes it up. I'm like, wow, it's that easy? Okay. The guy who's the priest, I know he's supposed to be a dumbass, but even this is like going a bit too far. Like he sees a guy who's clearly a fucking demon and he still thinks it's a prank. And of course he gets stabbed to death because of his stupidity. There's this nerdy guy who's into demonology, and I'm like, this is a nerdy guy. This is like a jock but with a pair of glasses. I mean, this is... I don't buy this guy being a nerdy guy. I'm sorry, I don't. And his acting wasn't that great. And it seemed like he was going to play a big deal, but then... Funny enough, he's actually kicking a bit of ass with holy water and water balloons with holy water, like a water gun, and then gets killed, I don't want to say early on, but he gets killed with like 15 or so minutes left of the movie. I'm like, wow, this seemed like he would be a bigger character for the finale, but nope. And then one of the dumbest things I've seen, there's a point where Angela, the demon, gets a sword, cuts the nun's head off. Like literally, from the back of your head, you see this, and the head flops off. And there's, you know, nothing left. Cut to the headless body, and the nun's head pops back up like it's a fucking turtle. And she's like, close but not close enough. So she ducked her head, but we saw the head fly off. But I guess that's supposed to be just the... Apparently what happened, if what I read is true, is something about there was another ending. People were not happy with it. So they wanted to have a bigger ending, which I believe is why Angela, after you think she's dead, she randomly turns to a fucking snake lady. I don't mind the effect for a low budget, but I'm going... Where did the snake thing come from? But okay. She just happens to be a snake lady now. And I guess for this ending, they wanted the nun to be alive. So that's why they came out with that bullshit of, well, oh yeah, she ducked her head, even though we saw the head go off, and she popped it back up. And I went, I get that these films you're not supposed to take seriously, but this is just so fucking stupid. It is... I think that's the moment I just went, fuck this movie. I think that's the thing. I was not caring for too much, but there's some B-movie fun with the gore and some of the effects, you know, titties. But then I went, oh, fuck this movie. Like, come on, movie. Really? Really? And also some weird stuff. Like, they built up this... I talked about it was Mean Girls. The head Mean Girl, who is a fairly important character, you would think this character would get like a big death in the movie. Like, you know, she explodes, or her head explodes, or her body No, her death is almost like, they're just throwing some holy water balloons, and they focus more on the priest that has been turned instead of the big bully that we've kind of followed through a good chunk of it, who's turned to a demon. But it focuses more on the priest that, yeah, he was dumb, but he just got turned to a demon. It focuses more on him than the big bully. I'm like, wait a minute, like, you're building up, shouldn't you be this big, like, retribution or big payoff for that build-up? There's not really a big payoff for that. When, you know... But yeah, the nun sprays Angela with the holy water, and then you think she's dead, but no, she turns into a fucking snake lady. And then something to do with the cross. So I know this is stupid to say, but I'm like, are these demons or fucking vampires? Because like all the rules seems like it's based for fucking vampires. With holy water, and then the cross, and like light from the cross that they pull from the wall hit her, and she dies. And I'm like, so I guess the people in the first film, they just need a bunch of fucking crosses or holy water. They would have been fine. Oh, I mean, can I get too mad? No, because demons and vampires don't exist, so technically you can put any rules you want, and they never said that wouldn't work in the first movie. So, and here they're demons, so demons and the cross god. So I guess technically there's really nothing to complain about on that front. It just felt weird, like it felt like these were rules more for vampires, but I don't know. It was just, in retrospect, it's not really a complaint. It's more of just an observation. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just see people enjoying it for the B-movie gore effects, wacky stuff, the steak lady at the end, the titties that become hands. But characters that I don't give a shit about, a lead that's Mouse, I mean, she's fucking literally nicknamed Mouse, and she never really grows a pair, so to speak. Not really. Nothing that's satisfying, I should say. I mean, the only thing she does is Angela wants her, because the lead girl is actually the sister of Angela, to kill this nun, but then she stabs Angela, and then that's when the nun sprays with Angela with holy water, and then you get the steak lady. That's really all this girl does. Even when it becomes a steak lady, you go, okay, now she's going to man up, so to speak. But no, really, this other guy, which I forgot his name because his character was really inconsequential for the most part. He's the one that gets the idea to do it. I'm like, okay, guy, whatever your name was. So I just, not caring about the characters, some really stupid stuff, lame dialogue, like smelling like Godzilla's butthole. Yeah, you sure do. I'm from the school of hard knockers. Yeah, that's another line. From the school of hard knockers. And just... I thought the first film dealt with the humor more, and it just dealt with the horror more. Like the ending where that really grisly part where the asshole that was putting blades in the candy, he swallows, and then there's blades in his neck, and his wife or whatever is like, you know, happy Halloween. You know? Like that worked better for the tone and was a bit more interesting, and But here, like, you could tell this director, in my opinion, he doesn't fit for horror. Leprechaun sequels in this, he just doesn't. And the humor didn't work. The characters were, other than the one nun, the other characters are worthless shit. So it's like, okay, I did see some B-movie fun, but just give me a highlight reel then, not the movie. Just a highlight reel of the effects, boom, 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes, boom, done, goodbye. Does that equal a good movie? I guess that's up to the eyes of the beholder, but not for me. Maybe in other cases it will, if they have enough shiny keys that I'm like, oh, okay, but me, some movies could do that. This didn't. It didn't pull it off enough for me, I guess, at the end of the day. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.